In this video I'll try to break down one interesting thing that I just kind of have to do it because that's my focus right now of what I'm projecting myself to do. And then obviously I have to leave YouTube essentially because it doesn't serve me anymore, and there's no point. Like I can't even get like YouTube partnership if I don't get enough subscribers. Everything is just kind of screws you over, and the platform is not gonna like help me even if I interact with people or something. It's gonna be a pretty vicious or like ignorant place as well. But there has to be like more to it, right? You have to uncover the entire history of what YouTube has been doing and why, and what it's turning into. So I never have to come back here, and I can just find success somewhere else. I'm glad that the channels that I watch haven't actually died, but there is plenty of uncertainty going on where, like, I mean, people can just be scared out of this platform, let alone when they have to actually deal with something. It's gonna make it unbearable to even comprehend the discomfort that you could have day to day if anything starts happening. And honestly, there's supposed to be more and more pressure from YouTube while it's hiding a lot of things. While you cannot actually improve yourself in the performance the way that you present yourself on this platform, the videos that you release, just slight, adjustments. What kind of length of videos? Just live hacking, right? Because you have to create life on YouTube, and you have to figure out all the principles. And YouTube is just a mixed bag of like different principles that they follow every time. They just try new things essentially, because someone is going to get bored of the algorithm eventually, and they will try to change it, and the algorithm doesn't want to change, right? So every time they change it, either algorithm doesn't change at all, and they have to like force bigger changes. It's actually pretty difficult to deal with technology like this, especially when it's established as well. It's really, really hard. Let's say YouTube's algorithm is like self-driving car. It doesn't crash into anything. It drives flawlessly, and you don't have to worry about how it works, right? But let's say that the car uses some kind of resource that you now have a hard time replacing, and it's polluting the world anyways. It's like, well, now we're stuck with that shit. Now we're stuck with self-driving, harmful cars, and it wouldn't actually really happen. It's a silly metaphor, but I think it's really difficult to deal with the algorithm, and that's about it. Once it becomes harmful, it's very difficult to just replace it, right? So this is like the miniature AI apocalypse version, not a singularity version. It's just something that once broken, it cannot be fixed. That is how ridiculous this is, right? If self-driving cars all of a sudden start breaking down, it would be a massive catastrophe, right? Like it's gonna get pretty tough to fix that stuff. And luckily, self-driving cars are not that dangerous because they know what they have to do. There's just a very simple thing. Once you cannot perform your action, you just stop or give the driver the controls. On YouTube, you don't get any controls as a driver. You just get a direction of where your channel is going, and maybe how your car looks like. But you're not going to be able to drive. YouTube is going to decide how fast you're going to drive, which path you're going to take, and how edgy or not edgy you have to be, basically. I see you boarding children in your illegal vehicle. It's time to fine you at this point. I mean, this metaphor is just growing and growing right now. It's absolutely blissful to treat YouTubers like racers. I mean, they all race. The moment T-Series showed up against PewDiePie, it's like, for some reason that car is way too fast, right? And that alone is like the biggest cringe moment ever. How can YouTube allow so many subscriptions on a channel that doesn't get watched in the first place, right? And just spits out content constantly. Even subscribing to that channel is going to distract you from the better content that is out there. Like, that alone is a problem that can be easily fixed once people actually recognize that it's a problem in the first place and that the problem can be fixed. See, the real problem is actually that people think they need self-driving cars in the first place. We don't need cars, right? We don't need to own fucking cars in the first place. That's what the problem is, right? That's the big change that has to happen, and it's never going to happen. Same goes for YouTube. We don't need the algorithm. We just need public transport, meaning that we publicly adjust channels whether they're supposed to be more popular or not. We, the people, have the fucking power and the guts to actually do it, and holy shit, we don't get the tools, right? We don't get the public transport, we don't get the communication with each other. It's all expensive and shit. So, as above, so below, we just found a very neat connection between reality and YouTube, and the same problem, basically. Even though we're capable of trading, we're not capable of trading. That's what's kind of improving in the background, maybe. It's really hard to tell. I mean, the technology is coming, but it's so early, such an early technology that it can't be actually used, which is kind of weird. When it is being used, right? Anyways, yeah, using an algorithm isn't that bad, but YouTube is trying to control way more things. I don't want to talk about censorship because I haven't experienced enough of what's going on. I just heard people complaining about strikes. Some channels that I actually really cared about complaining about that. Now, once I leave YouTube, I think the best strategy is to still show up in other people's content, right? That's the main strategy, is to kind of be the cancer of YouTube and promote the other platform whenever I get the chance, right? Whenever I explore explode in popularity, pop in popularity, and every single time I just lead a small group into a different place. A place where they're not exactly comfortable. They have to be totally open-minded, and it will help consume content properly that I make, which is, it is difficult. It is difficult to look at the very logical perspective, because world is full of problems and you want to ignore those problems and never see them again, right? Logic is actually pretty terrifying, especially when logic starts feeling illogical and you start thinking about metaphysical things like you having all the superpowers and everything in the world, but you have to sacrifice some of them to be able to live in the world, and the reality doesn't change, but your perspective is trying to penetrate how you're an almighty person but still have to follow the rules. And maybe you can break some rules sometimes. It is the most interesting thought process, but at the same time it requires constant training to even get there, to even allow yourself to be like, man, I could have a superpower after all, or appreciate life a little bit more. It takes a lot of time. I'm not sure if through teaching I can actually do it and lead you guys there. I can definitely give you guys the ideas, the right ideas of what you can think about, and maybe you'll achieve some kind of insight, or allow some logic flow into your life, and maybe you'll start thinking, depending on your experiences, which are different than mine, right? I share my experience, and that you can stack on your own experience. You're supposed to be more powerful in that sense, and I have to do a good job for all of this to be successful. Eventually I get my feedback once I am successfully successful. Once karma goes a whole way around, it takes time for that to happen, especially if you are unstable, right? If you haven't settled down, karma doesn't know where to come back to. Karma doesn't actually recognize you. A lot of people just try to move on from people who are constantly changing because they don't know what to expect, and they don't know how to settle down themselves. So the moment I hit success, it's probably when everything is very well established, and you have an easy time understanding what the fuck is going on, and what the purpose is, and how long it's gonna last, and that you're totally welcome. Now you wouldn't even know whether you're welcome or not, or maybe everything that I'm talking about comes from a very weird place, right? That also has to be tested. A lot of things have to be tested. It's best that I just find a quiet and very focused platform made out of dedicated people who do the same thing, basically. Attempt in surviving outside of YouTube. That's how big YouTube is. It's once you're outside of YouTube, you are outside. You are in the wilderness, and there's nothing really there. No fighting, no drama. People will quickly turn away, but if they find you, they will be more curious than normal, right? And that's what's gonna allow me to capture some attention in that case. Alright. So what I wanted to talk about is actually very different. Is the direction that I am going to. I've revealed a bunch of celebrities that I started liking, which is like, it sort of seems normal, but I want to like them to the point where I can perhaps meet them or outdo their performance, right? I want to be either good enough to be their friend, perhaps better, or be able to replace them with something better as well. All these things, I'm just going even deeper and picking the personalities from the internet and checking out how they perform in different situations. And big celebrities allow a lot of investigation and a lot of events that they participate in. So it's a lot easier to map out their personalities than anyone else. No one really is capable of chatting. No one is really capable of, or even passionate about talking just online. It's so hard to find people like that, or even people who would be honest. But again, it's passion that is required, and celebrities at least are supposed to do their job, basically, and supposed to find the passion when talking to their fans. So it's the only thing that I can really grasp on. It made me think about the inequality of rich and poor and why that exists in the first place, and I think I found an answer. We live in a very special time when inequality is like one of the biggest problems that has been expanded on. The problem gotten worse. The inequality gotten worse. But we're reaching the peak where rich people can't really affect the poor that badly, right? And at the same time, being poor starting to not mean anything. Because most of the time, poor is now mixing up with drug usage, right? If you don't do drugs, you probably can actually escape poverty and just get some kind of welfare going for you, some kind of way to survive. It is ridiculously tough, and I would have not survived if not for the help that I've received, because it is too painful to live sometimes when you need to do anything at all. I like being lazy. I like being lazy so much that I realize that life sometimes isn't worth living, regardless of how beautiful it looks like. It can be pretty ugly when you're asked to do anything. And then you have to think about those possibilities and superpowers you can have, and what is the meaning of reality when you can just, well, leave at any point, unsubscribe, because it never gave you enough passion to survive in the first place. It is a deep question to ask, and it's certainly something I will have to explore, because suicide is on a rise, right? So I have to be very, well, passionate about the question, even beyond suicide possibility, because I probably will never stoop so low as I was. And it's all about, all about money, really. It's all about money. Once you run out of money, it's over. Now, if people go through suicide because they get rejected or they get hated, that's a completely next level, actually. that is a higher level that I haven't even experienced yet. That is something that I have been through a lot of rejection, and if you collect all of the rejection and throw at me at once, maybe it works as a simulation, and maybe, I went through some of what other people go through, but I don't think so. Besides, there's ridiculous exaggeration of how important people are. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I just think there can be like deeper rejections that can happen and more sophisticated than have already happened before. But at the same time, I'm starting to think that those rejections just kind of happen naturally, and people reject you naturally. There's nothing really wrong with them. It's the system that kind of screws you over and don't encourage other people to give you chances. First of all, is the biggest problem. Is like there has to be a chance to come back, a chance to be unblocked after a certain amount of time or a certain amount of positive gestures. Like you can handicap a person to be able to just do good things until they do enough good things for you, and you're like, okay, now I can forgive you. And that system doesn't exist. Again, technological absence. Huge. Technological absence is the biggest right now. And people don't give a fuck because we're doing completely different stuff. We're literally... YouTube is like literally a platform that constantly cuts corners to make sure that more and more desperate people get viewed, right? People who will follow more and more rules, right? So those will survive, and they will get their message across because they will try very, very hard to do that. However, at some point this sort of challenge doesn't even make sense, right? Because there are no people who think their message is actually smart enough or has enough value versus the... So right now what's going on, in order to cheat value, people are in fact cheating as much as possible. The moment they get attention, they try to squeeze that into, turn that attention into something of value, like true following. It's almost like creation of cults at this point. Is they have to create a message that they would believe in, but that is beyond the value that they can actually provide, right? So that's how cults get created, right? When you believe in something that you have no way of believing, you just want the attention and power and all of these things that the messages in general can give you, the popularity can give you. So technically, if YouTube is becoming riddled with cults, and is something we should watch out for. Now, it's probably not happening right now, but again, people will become more and more desperate for attention, and there has been a lot of exploitation already. I think Tanacon is like that glimpse of exploitation, right? Someone who, again, tried to create a mini cult for themselves for that one tiny event. It was a cult because Tana didn't know what she was doing. She just knew that she was going over the top, and she liked it even, right? and didn't care about the consequences, which is exactly what this video is about, right? People who don't care about the consequences at this point, they will create bigger and bigger cults that last longer and longer, do more and more damage, and that's the only message that they can get across, really. I think Tana is one thing, and she united with Jake Paul, but honestly, Shane Dawson is turning into next level cult master, basically. I mean, he is now selling products, and people act very cult-like again while being served these products. They outrageously bought it off the shelves, basically. You can compare them to zombies at that point, or Black Friday sale. But it was Shane Dawson that decided that he needed money. He needed products to be out there. He needed some devil's help, because that Jeffree Star just looks like a fucking devil. Nothing better, really. Devil with some makeup, you know, just how devils look like these days. And they sell makeup, and it's like, yeah, how valuable can makeup be, actually? Or do you want it to be functional, or do you want it to actually speak to you while you do it? Be entertained by putting on makeup. I'm so fucking entertained. It should be passion to just, you know, or a routine. Like, it shouldn't require special tools that try to speak to you and deliver you some kind of message. It's like eating soup and hoping to see a message in the bottom of the plate. That's how childish it is, right? Eating soup just because there's a message that you uncover each time you fucking eat it. Like, how fucking stupid is that? You should be passionate about eating soup and being healthy, not about seeing something once you've done. I have bought makeup palette. Look how cool it is. It's not cool. I have bought all these products that relate to Shane Dawson. It is not cool. Fuck off, right? But that's the cult. And guess what? Cults have been establishing this whole time. I mean, they're selling t-shirts. And t-shirts are garbage. But you just display a message with a t-shirt. As if you need a message. As if you need to even promote anyone's channel ever. Right? Especially with a t-shirt. Or anything that you buy and wear without even a high level of control. Because at some point you're just going to be lazy and just put on a t-shirt, right? And maybe you don't want to promote that message anymore, or it doesn't deserve to be promoted. It's just, it gets pretty stupid. And it's a very minor thing, but it gets stupid. Merch is a stupid thing, and it's a cult-like thing, because it doesn't serve any purpose. If we would be problem solvers, and we want to really feel good about ourselves, which that's the only way you can feel good about yourself, if you're solving problems, right? So you have to clean yourself up and make sure that everything you're doing is in high efficiency and not in high promotion. If you're promoting other people, you're no longer promoting yourself. You're just participating in a cult, right? Meaning that you don't matter, someone else matters way more than you do. That's another problem when you wear a t-shirt. You have to create your own t-shirt. And those assholes who have indoctrinated you, they have to help you design it. That is it. That is the best that they can do. And if they sell you a t-shirt and you buy it, if you buy into that, you're selling your identity. You are a zombie. And you have to be eliminated. If I see you with a t-shirt, you're dead. Not physically, but spiritually, which is way worse. Way worse. Anyways. Moving on, right? That's the consequences. You think Key and Peele did something stupid and silly in their video, promoting that weird consequences could happen when you do weird things, which is what crime is. It's illogical. It's weird. Why would you do crime when you can not do anything? And you won't have to worry about anything. Crime is not something you can be passionate about. Ever. Ever. Even if you rape someone, you cannot be passionate about something like that. Because you know how much it hurts, and you know how much it's going to hurt you. And even if you're a psychopath and you numb the pain, you will still know in your head that there is a consequence, and a huge consequence, and there's a limit of how you can numb yourself. This is not like endless superpower that psychopaths use. They use it to feel cool about themselves whenever they do something, but cool ends when you repeat the same thing over and over again. Cool turns into insanity. Right? So psychopaths go insane very quickly. They have to exchange their patterns. They have to do something else. They cannot be serial killers. They will start feeling pain very, very much more than other people, right? The moment they lose their cool. And that's a difficult challenge. Every superpower comes with a super weakness, and there is no way out of it. So, it's a beautiful speech, right? Now, how does it relate to the celebrities that I like? It feels like they exist beyond YouTube. They exist on Instagram, and they are hot. Okay, they're mostly girls that I'm interested in. I don't know what guys are supposed to do in this case. Maybe just follow the girls, because girls are like popular and powerful. And single most of the time. So it's like you might as well follow those girls, because like they are incredibly attractive. Their value, their relationship value, I suppose, is increasing, or their love, the value of their love is increasing. And if you just happen to crush their love and take it for yourself, even on an accident, for as long as it is going to last, it's going to be incredibly valuable, right? So you have to follow those girls and see what they're doing and kind of be a stalker, honestly, but not stalker to them, it's to their passion and love, right? You want to predict their movement so they bump into you, but you don't want to predict their movement by watching them constantly, right? You want to predict their movement by sharing passion. That's the whole point, right? You're gonna physically move to the location that they move without even caring about them, and it will make you feel good because you're passionate about the same thing as well. So eventually, that's the ultimate success that I'm looking for. And I definitely, again, suggest you guys not to follow my word, because watching my videos is totally useless. You have to contact me. and constantly, improve my work, and you'll improve yourself by doing that. Because the doors are open right now, and I am flawful. I'm full of flaws and full of mistakes, and whatever I'm saying is not flawless. It's just very basic, right? It feels very logical and very basic, so I'm capable of sharing it. But I cannot tell you like exact details. Let's say pick up Selena Gomez as a celebrity, and what am I supposed to do, right? I don't know. I have no idea what I'm supposed to do. I'm just saying principles. And those principles are very, very powerful and amazing. And honestly, we're connected through the internet. At any point, she could bump into me, and I'm the most famous guy in the world, basically. Because she's incredibly famous and incredibly single. So that's what's going on right now. This could happen, and I have to open my mind to it. And I just realized, how incredibly difficult it is to take the consequence of what would happen. Because, like, if you really wish for something, it makes sense that it will come true eventually. But you have to understand the consequences of your wishes first, because that is exactly the problem that always happens when you consent to something, when you agree to something, when you want something fast. You have to figure out what the consequence is and what can you actually handle from that wish, because you have to look at things realistically. If you ask yourself what kind of superpower you want to have, over time that superpower is going to get more and more simplistic, because you don't want to threaten your karma. If you all of a sudden wanted to fly and you did start flying, chances of you dying have increased tremendously. Whether you're going to be killed or you're going to make a mistake and your powers are not very consistent, but most importantly, people are going to give you crippling attention. It's going to be crippling attention. You have wings and other people don't. Well, jealousy is going to be the key. And how are you going to deal with that? You're not ready for that. This is why the superpower is going to destroy you. Do you want to go back to the past superpower? I wouldn't suggest you do that, because you might realize there is no time. There's only space. So by going back in time and finding the exact space where time seems to repeat itself and you just go back in time there, it gets very, very complicated. It gets very complicated. You thought you could accomplish something by doing that, or feel like consequences don't matter anymore because you rule that timeline, you know everything so well. But the moment you get in there, you realize that you have not paid attention in the first place. And once you go back in time, things that you thought were a certain way will look completely different way, because you have grown and your perspective has grown, and a lot of things have changed over the years, right? So you will forget a lot of things that were in the past, and the way it worked, and the way it viewed certain things that, trends that would happen in the future, how they were viewed, and how they were blocked or embraced. It's way too complicated. So you would literally break reality by doing that. You would break yourself, and you wouldn't want to live there, because it will confuse you. Going back in time or going into the future as well is always going to be the most confusing trip, because even though you might have a goal, that goal is so small compared to so many things that are going to change when you do travel. right? One thing you can do, one superpower that you can have, is changing your past without even going there. Is completely cutting off the past and trading it with another person. It's actually possible to do that. Through a decent relationship, you can trade your experiences, and those experiences will start changing, and your past is no longer going to be static. It's no longer going to be constant. It's not going to be set. It's going to start changing, and you will no longer care about the past because you're going to be involved in another person's lifetime in the first place. So you're going to be able to actually wove through another person's life and create a completely different perspective of life in your own timeline. Completely different. Because every single time I change perspective, I realize how different my life sort of looks like the moment I recognize other people's intention and why they did the things that they did. So if you happen to know a person that you have a past interaction with, even if it's vague, it could very much help you understand reality a little better and develop a perspective that's going to change the way you view past. Now, another thing that has to change is the speed in which you do things, or the way that you treat certain actions, right? So this is in order to change the past, right? If you want to change the past, you have to figure out how valuable your actions are right now, and those actions can actually be directed into the past, right? Because past actually exists, it drags on, you're carrying something that you can change, right? Imagine that, right? Everything, all your memories are actually being carried. They no longer exist as a reality, but they are, right? So you can change that, and all of a sudden you're changing the past just as effectively as going back in time. Anyways, so enough about superpowers, right? Enough about celebrities. I just wanted to go through the problems that you overlook, the consequences that you do overlook when dealing with big dreams that you might have. Because you have to figure out the life's principles first and what life actually allows to exist. And as you can see, everything you see is allowed for existence. Everything can be you, except you don't want to be everything necessarily. So you have to really look at the people, because people are the easiest thing to like, and try and capture what do you like about them, right? And how much of them do you want to be? And all of a sudden, as you're focusing your attention to those people, you're going to change very rapidly. And as I follow the celebrities, I didn't just follow them. I imagined them to be surrounding me and surrounding a story that I'm creating. I'm trying to create a passion that is kind of forced. It's kind of trying to tell a bizarre story, but it's also trying to respect the superpowers that I like about other people that I find within them. It's still very rough process. Again, I cannot describe what I'm doing because it's changing constantly. Right now I'm just trying to rotate an 8 point clock, basically. Collect 8 points and get that clock rotation as 1 point. And then I signed it here that I collected. Something interesting. I don't know where it's going, but it's interesting to evaluate how much value you have collected throughout the day, how much you've captured throughout the day, and noticing what is, in which situations that value accelerates a lot faster, and when you can actually allow yourself to be rewarded. This is what I'm researching right now by playing this game, and I've realized a long time ago that games are incredibly powerful, and basically you can be outplayed on real life, outplayed on everything, right? Real life is the biggest game that you can play, and that's the only way you can actually gain passion for it. If you figure out the rules, figure out how to embrace life to the point where you do know how to play it. Sometimes you just imagine what cards you have, and you can play those cards against the problems that turn into your opponents now. So you have to figure out how you play games, what you're comfortable with, what is your perception level basically of reality, because you have to reinterpret reality in order to play the game. Otherwise you will not know what kind of moves you have in the first place, or what is waiting for you in the future, because the game is not evolving for you. You're just trying to do the same thing over and over again for profit or something, or for feels good moment, which you don't capture, and it all falls apart essentially. You don't learn how to play the game, you just learn how to cheat other people to get ahead, right? By not playing the game. It's complete opposite basically. You allow yourself to cheat other people, get rich, get powerful, but you never really learn to enjoy any of it. You just know how to do it, right? So what does it turn into if you become the collection of things, right? Like a piñata, right? You become the game, or the greatest part of the game, that everyone just wants to smash you into pieces. Everything you have collected, all the riches, all the biggest things that you have done, everyone will want to smash your reality into pieces and take it apart and split it for themselves. You have created yourself into a piñata. I have to repeat myself. A person full of candies. We just have to smash that person, right? Mexicans play piñata, right? It's coming from that region. I mean, perhaps they're very smart, and perhaps Selena Gomez is the Troy horse, which she even did the song about Bad Liar, and the song was almost trying to distract everything from everything, right? It's like, oh, it's a lesbian song. Look, what the fuck are you talking about? This is weird. Selena Gomez was super weird in that song. And all these connections now, again, make me look into like this superhero that has been created, that I desperately need to follow. A celebrity that's super popular for very, like a secret agent, level of reason, right? She is gonna smash them pinatas eventually whenever she has the chance, right? She even played a role in this Shark Tank where people invest into other people, and she was very excited about it. And I never really figure out what the fuck is going on, but now it's like, wait, this is interesting. This is fucking weird. This is really weird. So we have to pay attention to this person. And it's actually on top of my list. So until I get to Selena Gomez, I actually have to go through other people. And as you may know, Ariana Grande is next. I've looked into Rebecca Black. She's doing fine. I know how to contact her now. I have the ability to, right? I'm gonna get to her Discord eventually. The timer is here, right? I get 60,000 points. Bam. $50 for me. And I pay for Discord access. It's $5. But I want the $50. I want no other deal on this. This program actually works well enough, because you you gain more money for having more points. That's basically how it works. For being more invested, basically, and not demanding things immediately, right? I can accept that. I can understand that. I can roll with that. It seems pretty fun. Pretty fun. And not a lot of people can do it. So ads kind of work exceptionally well on these people. That's how. That's why we get paid in the first place. As a whole, because some people can actually spend, and they spend a lot of money on games, and it's a weird cycle that has been opened up that you can benefit from. I just need to reach that $50 mark to actually understand how profitable it is to just roll with a system like this. It might feel like an abuse, and I don't want to create any abuse of the system unless I lose my job, right? Like, okay. Then having $100, meaning that I will have to double my effort a month, or triple my effort, because it's kind of dragging on right now. Like buy more hardware or something, play on multiple computers. So I would have to multiply that effort, and it's pretty tough, especially when the only game you are pretty much allowed to play is Hearthstone, and it can get very boring very quickly, so you have to evolve the way you play the game to the point where it is probably the only acceptable thing is to multiply the how many Hearthstone matches I'm playing at once, which is, it's a pretty tough thing to multiply, honestly. Anyways, with that in mind, I'm at least glad like there's an incentive to play games. There has never been like a proper incentive to play games. I don't understand RuneScape, for example. Like, it's incredibly profitable, and it makes zero sense. It's like Bitcoin is incredibly profitable, and it makes no sense, right? Or it was at some point. Obviously, all of these profitable things are a bubbling mess, but they still survive as a profitable venue for people to, multiply GPU systems that they use to mine digital gold. But it's so stupid because we're wasting all these resources, and we could be doing something way better and way more profitable, right? But instead we're part of this cult where we think it's profitable because it pays us, but we're not actually providing value in the world. We're just acting as a machine that just found a cookie on the floor, and it keeps on finding those cookies, and we're starting to basically manufacture machines that pick up cookies from the floor. And it's like, Jesus Christ, design your own cookie and fucking that's gonna be the end of the game. You won't need to pick it up, and you won't need to search for it, and eventually those cookies will start disappearing, and the market crash. The bubbly mess is gonna start crashing because people don't feed into this stupid system. Most of the time it's just stupid people feeding into the system. That's what makes it profitable. That's what makes RuneScape profitable, is like, oh, buy gold, but it's like, why? Why would you even buy gold in RuneScape? For gambling? You know, house always wins if you're a gambler, right? You have to know that. So if that's probably the biggest bubble, and the only bubble that can exist in the first place. All bubbles that exist are made out of gambling, essentially. I don't see it any other way, really. It is gambling. Even if you buy gold in a game, you don't know what you're actually buying. You don't know if you actually need that gold in the first place to enjoy the game, because that's supposed to be the primary reason why you invest in the first place, is to spend time in a different digital environment. You're not there to compete. You're not there to show off. It's supposed to be secondary reasons why you would invest money in that. You would invest money if you enjoy the game, and all of these secondary reasons are successful for you. You are capable of showing off. You're capable of picking up interesting skills. You have gaining more and more access to the game, and you don't need to invest. Hearthstone is a good example of allowing you full access over time, and honestly, I come to appreciate it more and more. The better I'm getting in, the better I am in Arena, right? Because I open more packs. The packs are becoming more and more free and effort-based. And once it's fully effort-based, and I can infinitely run Arena, all of a sudden, all of those legendaries that I can't afford, they're now within the effort zone, right? And I have to prove that I am worth of that legendary, that I'm worth of playing that special deck, because a lot of decks can already be built. Once you understand how Hearthstone works in the first place, a lot of decks can already be built without having legendaries, without having epic cards. You can already build competitive decks because you don't even have to compete, right? People who compete, they have a completely different game plan, right? They can afford to compete in the first place, and they want to push themselves because they have nothing going on in their lives. They're miserable. Every esports competitor is going to be the most miserable person, and if you point that out to them, you're going to ruin their lives. If you're going to figure this secret out, this is the biggest secret ever. Every person who takes games seriously, those small little games seriously, that literally forces you to fight other people, right? In a digital arena. If you take that seriously, first of all, you have to recognize that a lot of times it's unfair. It's ridiculously unfair. It's a big mystery already in Hearthstone set because a woman wins the championship. A girl. I wouldn't even call her a woman. Because most of the time, people are fucking virgins, okay? They're motherfucking virgins. They just can't help it. Sexuality is a beast. And once you're in it, or once you're getting closer, it will scare you away, actually. And you don't want to deal with it too often. You want to be distracted. So you want to be even more miserable and compete even more. And eventually realize, oh shit, I'm still getting closer to this beast that is hunting me down. Because you're gonna get excited about getting friends, right? And having a relationship with those friends, and then getting closer and closer. And shit, friend zone doesn't feel very good without benefits. And it's like, oh shit. And you can be old by the time when those benefits start happening, and it's a little bit cringy, but you can't help it. You're just horny, right? And holy shit, this is hell. Then you live hell because you don't enjoy sexuality anymore. For me, sexuality doesn't come because every single time I'm realizing not only it's disgusting, I am not exactly prepared for it, and it's very deadly. You have to be prepared. Otherwise, you will make huge mistakes that will ruin your life. And so understanding the consequence that comes of creating bad relationships and bad friendships and everything is going to be glued with sexuality, basically, eventually, right? Sexuality is glued to relationships all over the place. It's a glue of a family, after all. Like, it's, where do you find a better glue ever than that thing, right? We kind of misplay and say it's love, but love is more like what we build on top of the glue, right? The pretty things, but not so pretty things that glue is kind of fucking weird, right? And it does look like glue. Like, what the fuck, right? I'm just saying, it looks like glue to me. Now, this video is going out of control. First of all, I'm tired. I'm supposed to be tired. I just finished my shift of feeding gambling addicted people. I'm so sad actually realizing this truth, or realizing that esport participants are terrible people, miserable. They're also terrible because they promote this lifestyle of competition. They just very much invite people to compete against them. Why not, right? They feel like more and more people compete, the game is becoming worthwhile and popular, and it's like, yeah, that's what you should do, haha. But I like Kriparian because he's not a competition expert, right? He doesn't do that. It's almost like for the little children, the competition. But he would still, could be drawn into that. It's just because he stays away from that, that's what makes him a joker. And for me, he's one of the biggest people on YouTube. Kriparian. Just because he plays Hearthstone for a while now. And because the game is actually incredibly good at being the metaphor for life. Of understanding life and putting a parallel of having cards and playing cards against other people and establishing a relationship and building a deck specifically to play against that opponent. There is no such game mode in Hearthstone which you can imagine that it's possible to do because you have the freedom to play your friends. And when you have that simple freedom, a lot of things can actually change. Yeah. When you can create your own rules, a lot of things can change. And your perspective can change. And just the possibility opens you up to view Hearthstone completely differently, right? Read cards completely differently. It's a cool thing. And if you change the purpose of okay, I want to like that person more, they don't have to actually play cards well, but they might need to create a nice story or create certain weird interactions that cards make in the first place, right? Just finding those weird interactions and building a deck of those weird interactions. I think Hearthstone could be one of the best dating applications ever. And people don't see it that way yet because people don't see anything. They love gambling and they love, well, they hate themselves. They love just playing the game and just losing themselves in it. Because again, they're miserable. Those two things. Moving on though. And obviously everyone is sugarcoating everything while they're miserable. It is a zombification basically, right? You zombify from the inside, try to put makeup and no, you're not a zombie. I'm not a zombie. I'm sweet. I'm cool and sweet. Love me. I look so pretty. But you're not gonna be attractive, anyways, if you don't break down reality, because reality captures people. Reality has its own timeline, and it wants you to participate as much as you want. But for that, you'll have to pay your soul. If you want to be successful, and you climb as you're climbing the ladder, you're losing the game of life. You actually, as you're tearing up, you're losing the game of life. And this is something that I have to talk about, and wanted to talk about. Of why am I not successful, right? I'm being suppressed at the very early stages. I can hardly climb anything, so I almost gave up on life entirely. Now, because in the future I will stop being rejected for not making any actions, is the actions that I'm constantly being demanded to do. Certain actions, right? Go there, do this, talk to this person, blah, 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 blah. I'm capable of doing this over the internet. I don't want to talk to them. I don't even want to talk to them my native language. I want to improve and move forward, right? And it is true because I just talked to a girl who was concerned. And now rightfully so, because I was in a very low place and I'm still almost surviving on this gambling addiction that other people have. Once that is over and people actually start waking up, I'll have to move on to something else, and I probably will still survive. I mean, I'm smart enough to actually realize when shits are crashing or that people are not as good at as I am in this skill. And just because you're capable of exploiting other people and tearing yourself up doesn't mean anything, right? So what does that mean? This is the timeline code. This is where we are in time. I'll already show you the timeline. And current timeline shows some kind of trade changes, huge trade changes, because we are increasing population, increasing internet capacity, increasing travel capacity, right? And I think the only thing that's going to change, the major change, is going to be the economic capacity. Your money is going to be internationally fast. you will no longer need credit cards. You will no longer need anything, really, because money is supposed to be an arbitrary thing where you are trusted with something, with resources. Are you trusted with resources? So at some point the click is going to happen, and what's going to happen? Because welfare is so widespread, we're just going to allow welfare to create its own, field. At some point, money just stops existing, and it's very much on the edge right now. It is a problem that we'll be solving in the future, and connecting our perspectives of what we already achieving right now, as the cults are taking control over the world, right? And they're treating people like garbage for a very specific reason, right? I'm not exactly sure what I mean by this super fast general information trade. However, what I am kind of aware is that general information is the most important information, right? And we're finding more and more important information based, we brainwashing ourselves, meaning that we clean ourselves up over and over again, because the information that we get from the internet is becoming more and more relevant. The drama is becoming more and more bigger, right? And it quickly asks you to do one thing: brainwash yourself, follow that other person that's doing even a bigger explosion, and then keep on following bigger and bigger explosions until you figure out what the general information is. And please don't get lost in that information, because explosions, you put on sunglasses and watch them from afar. If you get too close, you're gonna get destroyed, annihilated. The general information that you will pick up is no longer gonna be general. It's gonna be traumatic, right? That's the problem that's happening. There's always a super weakness after superpower. After an explosion, you could have died. You have to look at that explosion and you have to see, like, I could have died. I could have went to TanaCon, over-tanned myself, bought a can. At least she gives a condom, right? So I wouldn't make children, right? Maybe I would get super horny after the sunlight, Maybe that's exactly what she wanted, like super mega spy, right? Mega Illuminati. People are more horny when they're hot, right? So what the fuck, right? Jesus Christ. Think about it. She's one horny son of a bitch. Tana Pole now. It's a lot better name, by the way. Mongo. I can't even. It just doesn't sound right. Mongol. My goal. Tana, my goal, basically. My goal is to destroy the universe. Now Shane Dawson is gonna do it for me. I'm a crybaby. No more. Shane Dawson, come on. Anyways. This is a huge video. I'm glad you're sticking with it. I mean, YouTube is coming down. Choo! From 5th floor, 10th floor? Which floor is it? YouTube is just crashing. Oops. YouTube just pooped its pants. I've already told you that algorithm is one thing, but when you add those explosions, population explosion, explosion of travel networks, which is Amazon, product travel network, okay? Products travel to your door. or to your screen, whatever, right? But naturally, even watching TV became a product placement. They place a product to you before you even get it, before you even order that product. They place it in the shops that are nearby, right? So you buy it eventually, right? It's a very tricky product placement, but that's what Trade Network is. Tricky, It's there. And the moment you buy it, you justify Trade Network. You agree that it's now established. The only thing that Trade Network requires is your participation. That's when it gets established. Now, the general information is the conspiracy arena. That's why conspiracies are becoming more and more popular underground. All of a sudden, every single time a conspiracy pops up, it goes into the underground. But you feel uneasy all of a sudden. Conspiracies are piling up one after the other. I'll break down every conspiracy ever, but I don't have to, because there are bigger conspiracies everywhere. Conspiracy against conspiracies is the biggest conspiracy, right? So it's gonna create a way different, like a general information flood of information that will start making you cringy and think of the world completely differently. You're gonna find your own conspiracy, basically, in your own life. A conspiracy against you from someone very specific. In fact, you have to start searching for enemies. That's what general information is going to tell you. Because there are so many cults, people are becoming into monsters, and if you're really thinking, a generally thinking person, there's gonna be that one guy that stands in your way of having everything. And remember what I've said, piñata. You gotta pick up a big bat to punch that piñata in the face, and guess what's gonna happen? Drama, 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 drama. Everyone's taking as many candies as possible. That's what's gonna happen. Everyone's taking advantage of what you just done. Because piñata doesn't just explode for you, it explodes for everyone. You have to be prepared for that consequence as well. I have to be prepared for that. I have to find my enemy. Even though I know where my enemy is, he is not my enemy. Enemies hide very well. They hide in a cycle. And usually someone who helped you the most probably is the enemy. But you cannot possibly tell yourself that it's the enemy. I can't possibly tell myself that it's the enemy, because he helped me, But I might have to unentangle the whole web through and be like, oh, someone who gave me the biggest gift is someone who's trying to cover something up. Very likely, in fact. And it's gonna be a very tough fight figuring this out. I am telling you that. I'm starting to realize now. And I will need help. I will need a team. I will no longer be able to operate on YouTube, because I'm also endangering a lot of people by sharing my conspiracies that I have uncovered right this moment, right? The gambling conspiracy, the addiction to games conspiracy, the sexuality conspiracy. They're bigger conspiracies than Flat Earth could ever be, okay? Because Flat Earth is the shape of the Earth that is constant. But there are trends that are not constant. There are trends that follow the timeline. The perspective of Flat Earth is changing, but it's a very slow process, and something that we would like evidence to be presented to us. But there are certain experiences that we have in real life of relationships, of friends, of people stabbing us in the back, that are piling themselves into huge conspiracies that we have to break down. And the moment I tell you that there is a conspiracy against you, you might just get a heart attack. It is so hard to handle these emotions in the first place. This is why you have to run. Run from this video, close it off, relax. I'm the one charging. I'm the one who already gave up on life, but got life anyways. Life didn't give up on me for some reason. So I cannot be thankful. I have to treat it as torture, and have to, follow the right moves in order to untangle the torture, and maybe I can turn things around. Or maybe it was never worth doing that in the first place. This is how difficult this problem is. But it is exciting because it's difficult. You know that when there's a lot of things at risk, there's a lot of things that you can actually win from this. And you cannot allow yourself to rest too much. The world is constantly moving and is trying to grab things away from you all the time. And it's so pathetic, really, because that's impossible. You cannot be robbed of anything. So you can only be tortured until you develop that perspective that the person who's torturing you isn't doing anything at all. He's just torturing himself and is capable of transmitting that pain onto you. So the moment you block that pain transmit, you just create an explosion. Because they wouldn't even expect you to have that superpower. But they had to be ready, or they explode. Some people may not explode, but holy shit, most of the time people do explode. If I cannot give my pain to you, if I cannot rape you with garbage that I think, if I cannot be H3H3 and do my podcasts full of garbage now, at first it was YouTubers. Next, it was him crapping, pooping pants. I don't know what he's doing. It's no longer a podcast, is what I'm saying. It's no longer something I actually enjoy listening to. Neither was it interesting in the first place. It was just an attempt for a podcast and never really took off. People enjoyed it because they enjoyed original H3H3 content of finding things on the internet. That's what H3H3 originally helps with, is just finding things on the internet. Now he's just a boring dude, right? Because you also have to present that content that you find. Present it as interesting. You can't do it with a podcast. So that's another thing. Yeah, this is a meltdown. I never thought that this random video is going to become a meltdown of YouTube. Just complete atomic bomb amount of unleashed force. And if you're still hanging on, I'm proud of you, right? You're a bro. You don't have to say anything. Just be proud. Just take it all in, because that is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. What's going to happen next is ridiculous. And this is why I'm leaving YouTube. I'm already the most popular thing on YouTube, by the way. Because conspiracies always hide themselves, right? And conspiracies always pop up before they hide. But some conspiracies, collect themselves as a pop-up. It's a very weird thing to explain. It's like, let me explain to you how I'm the most popular person on YouTube. I can't explain that. I have to lie to you. But I have to lie to you convincingly, okay? I have to do it convincingly. I am already the most popular thing on YouTube. Not a channel, not a person, not even content that I make is popular. It's the thing that I'm doing is the most popular thing. Creating a cult. Almost. Because I'm not successfully creating a cult as well. It's creating a belief system that could be either for creating a cult, or creating a following, or creating a just group of people that wants to do things, right? So you have to get rid of the definition, the negative annotation, because no one wants to be negative. No one wants to do things negatively initially, but they eventually see that they cannot do the positive thing, so they do at least the negative, right? That's the lack of effort creates bad habits. That's what's going on. Some of the most popular thing, because I know how it's done. I know how following is made. And you know what I did with the following? I threw it away immediately because people didn't follow me. That's what happened. So I started following myself, right? And when you follow yourself, you're super fast. No one can actually find you or get up to speed that you are. You're the sonic speed. You're the one that cannot be caught ever. You're your own dimension now, and no one is going to be able to follow you. And you want that. You want to win that game, because that's the way that you can escape the game in the first place. The moment you start collecting followers, there's something wrong. You have to be suspicious about this. You have to be able to escape. You have to have that button. At any point, you have to have the max speed to run away from every single follower on the planet ever. And why you want to do that? Because people are incredibly dangerous. Every little connection can turn into a disaster. So you have to have that button if you want to live. It's the button of life. The more followers you have, the more you are in absolute danger. You're going to be killed. Because life doesn't stay the same. People will change their minds. Purge will happen. And if they care about you, and if they can catch you, and if they have more power than you when they catch you, guess what's going to happen? Nothing good will happen. Because you're defenseless. It's the speed that you need in order to create the best following ever. The following that you control. Fully control. And the following that has to work their asses off so they do have power over you. They do have it, but they still follow you. So they give up all the power in every step of the way. Right? That's all you need to do. Even though I scared the shit out of you, the button is very easy to acquire. And you have to press it. And you have to run away from followers. And the only thing you have to do is stop interacting with people that you don't like. It's very hard to do because, God damn it, we have a very weird idea of what popularity is. Very weird idea. We think that's good. Being attractive? Good. It's going to give us resources. No. Never. Attraction never gives you resources. Attraction gives you questions. Because why the fuck am I popular? That's the first thing you would have to ask, but you don't, because you want to try and enjoy it, right? You want to try and enjoy it, and eventually you're just sitting like Shane Dawson and selling products and being like, oh, look at the line of zombies that just gathered. Don't I have too much power? No, I'm not gonna question that. Am I too popular? No. I kind of enjoy being popular, so I'm still making content, but I kind of want to transition into that where I have enough money so I don't have to make content anymore, because all the content that I've been making recently has been piece of garbage. Shane Dawson is an anti-joker. It's a joke. Shane Dawson is a joke. There's one more joke on YouTube. Who that might be, you might ask. Let me show him. What's up, man? Friday. 12/5 is Friday. It's not Friday, it's Thursday. Look at that. You know why it's not Friday? Because it's the last day. You're toast. Not Disguised. Disguised has been eliminated from the game a long time ago. Disguised came back to the battlegrounds, seeing like, oh shit, there's chaos in the dragon world of Hearthstone. I fucking hate reality, because the moment you realize reality is just super fake. Who's super fake? Reality. Who's super fake? Reality. I'm getting that super ego, so stay away from me. It's an explosion. But this is the last day, and Taylor Swift should have warned you about it. So let's listen to Taylor Swift first. I can't listen to actually... I know Are You Ready For It is the one. Last Christmas. Begin Again. That's a song that you need to listen to have hope. So let's do that. But there are no captions, so we need lyrics. If she doesn't provide lyrics, then we're kind of screwed. But I'll do it anyways. We need a lyric video, that's all we need. Here we go, it's super easy. I'm so stressed, where only easy things survive, okay? If there's no lyric video, if there's no ability to press a button just like here, I can't access it. That's the speed of life, my friends. If there's no quick access, it's dead. It's game over. This is the game that we're gonna be playing next decade. It's gonna be my game. Because the lowest tier is gonna be number 4. I will rule number 4. I will rule the vampires. They're gonna be roaming around and winning my game. Crushing it. Because I'ma hunt them down. You want economic technological change? Like my video. Like and subscribe my video. I'm a conspiracy theorist. Make sure that I get most likes of everyone, because I'm the most controversial figure in the universe. That's when it matters. When there's most resistance, not least resistance. That's why YouTube sucks, because it's creating resistance that allows people to become successful. Right, if you follow all the rules, all the resistance, keep it to yourself, fuck that. Follow the person with the most resistance. That is the future. A new decade is coming. And we no longer need general information. We're going to be fully educated. When I see Tanacon, you say, Paul, and they're connected and they're married. 2 biggest failures in the universe. All the general information you ever needed. I think I've never been so excited, but this new year is gonna be new. Very new. So welcome. This is the last day that you'll see me on YouTube. The next time you'll see me on YouTube, I'm releasing Taylor Swift versus Rebecca Black video. That video is going to be darker than this one 10 times, 100 times. I don't know. There's gonna be blood. In metaphysical way, it's worse than physical way. If there's blood in metaphysical, holy shit. If your eyes are bleeding without bleeding, if you cannot watch the video because you don't have to watch it, but you still have to watch it because you can't watch it, fuck off. Just listen to my voice. What are you doing, right? What are you trying to find anymore? It's game over. Black magic is over. It only works for a very, 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 very limited amount of time. It's working right now, and I have to finish this video. Unfortunately, I'm literally signing my soul for something here. That's how it feels like. It's accelerating. I have proven that I have that button the Sonic has, and honestly, I have to prove that I'm super, super duper fast. So I'm pressing the button. I'm destroying every single follower ever, including the last follower, Mega Sniper, right there. All I have to say, yes. Watch this. Watch this though. Watch what she said. Beauty is overrated in my opinion. And beauty gives too much confidence. Yes. It's overrated. I have helpers. But I only need Rebecca Black for this. You're She failed the challenge basically because I realized what she did this whole time. She was trapping herself. She was slowly realizing that the Pokeball that I threw initially was an eternal prison where she belongs. But she had to ask a few questions to trap herself in, slowly and surely. And I sent exactly the things that I needed to send that I do not understand. They are way out of my control. This is witchcraft beyond your possible understanding, okay? At one point she says something less frightening, say no more. And she sends us a frightening song. I have never asked for something less frightening. But she assumes something very evil all of a sudden. She gives me all of these demonic songs while I'm trying to just, bye bye beautiful. I just send her and she's like, you have an aiming gift. I hate Nightwish. And she said it wrong. It's height for her is Hightwish. How the fuck she misspelled that is hilarious. But congrats, because she just invented a new word. Hightwish. Yeah, that is Hightwish. It's pretty fucking Hightwish. And when I send her like a Guardian Angel song, because I was looking for like songs that I would like but sound similar to what she likes. So everything about this interaction is super magical. And she's trapped. Even the song that I like, just Beautiful Creatures, is like, you're a beautiful creature, but that's all you are. And even though you're capable of interacting with me, and I really love it, I have nothing in common. We're not doing anything. We're just fighting. She earned my respect and it ended there. The moment I wanted to make a next move, this happened. I realized it's over. It's the scariest thing ever. I'm very scared right now to see reality completely differently. I don't recommend. I do not recommend what's just happened, because it's deeply traumatizing. I collected my collection. There's one more person missing from my collection because I have a weakness, and they know it. They know they will never be captured, so they abuse me. And even me knowing all the no's and whatever, they know that I need to take action. They know that every single time I say I know, I'm making a mistake. So I just have to assume that they are captured, and I don't have to try very hard, because they will win each time I will try and detect something. But this is an action that I'm making, so I'm actually capable of exposing them right now. I am burning. Taylor Swift? Appreciation. Yeah, I love socks. Congratulations, Taylor. I love it. It's amazing. Okay. It's funny. Because I love it. Okay. Her name is... She's the fourth one. The Force Witch. I'm just gonna show it. Let's do some magical bullshit. I think I like this video. Or rabbit. And she triple laughed. Okay. It's like, you will never catch me attitude, right? Because she's way ahead of me. She's better than me. She counters me. She's laughing at me. And the only thing I have to say is like, yeah, some things are going to be so out of reach and out of my control. I just have to let it go. Just have to let it go. And someone else can do it for me. But sadly, that's not the case. Sadly, you can evolve. And you can get that last Pokemon that you always needed and use it against the Pokemon that you could have never captured in the first place. So it's gonna happen eventually. The fourth interaction is just gonna be out of my control, out of my reach, to give you a proper ending to everything, right? All right, let's listen to Taylor Swift lyrics so we can actually relax. This is a long video. This is a long journey. This is a meltdown of YouTube, of everything that you thought you knew about life. It's a meltdown of everything. And someone has to help you recover. She's a healer. However, you will not be able to listen, so I don't get copy striked. So you have to put the music on yourself. But the lyrics, the words that someone put on this whiteboard, do not belong to Taylor Swift. So we can listen to that freely, okay? Prepare yourselves. I will listen to the song initially so I can actually sing along, so you get the idea, right? Like a hum along, so you get the idea how it plays out if you don't want to watch it yourself. I just want to get the tune, okay? Now this is an assumption. I assume that Begin Again is going to help you heal. It can do various things, but my assumption is going to be strong enough to where I'm going to push that song into a specific idea, right? Most of the time, songs are not written with intention. You can inscribe intention by doing what I'm doing right now. So I'm going to listen to the song first, get the tune first. Maybe I can recognize the song, so it's not going to take too long. Okay, I'm getting the idea, right? That's how it sounds like. Took a breath in a mirror. So basically, I'll probably just gonna listen to it and gonna drag you guys through the lyrics. So the way I get it is like, it's almost about me. I got here early. Walked in expecting you'd be late, but you got here early. You know, I'm the doomsayer of the future. And I was very cunning to get fast in where I'm going, because I have been mistreated a lot. Or so I've thought, and you know, it kept me going. I don't know what this song means, right? And everything is connected. It's so annoying, because every time you build a story, it's going to be a counter story to someone else's life. Literally, stories drive reality in this case. And you start believing in certain things that are not real, but they're built and look a certain way, and you can actually point and say, oh, that's a rabbit, but maybe it's not a rabbit. It's a terrifying thing to believe in alternate reality, or allowing reality to change by heart. It's the scariest thing. You always want to go back and like sleep and wake up and something that you're familiar with and everyone's familiar with, and they can love each other again. It's great. But we have to do the scary things first if we want to stabilize our emotions, because things are so deep. Things are so fucking deep. I literally invent a world, and I'm in total awe of how it all works. I'm humbled by my own fucking powers to see everything. Got here early and you stand and wait. And I walked to you, you pulled my chair out and helped me. It's like as if she was stuck somewhere, you know. I don't know how nice that is, but I do. And you throw your head back laughing like a little kid. I think it's strange that you think I'm funny, 'cause you never did. Who is he, right? I've been spending the last 8 months thinking all love ever does is break and burn and end. But on Wednesday, it's not Wednesday, it's Thursday right now, in a cafe I watched it. Now I don't have to connect this to yesterday, because I still haven't slept. Today is yesterday. We are in a cafe that she owns. 7-Eleven, right? I've created a lot of things in my Discord. I wanted to see the date, but it doesn't matter, apparently. There is no date. Just no date. But I will still take the date, please. No date. I'll still fucking take the date. Thank you very much, guys. I'm stubborn. I don't care. 7 years ago. How can someone 7 years ago predict the future, right? Why should I care? 7 days. That's her name. Taylor Swift, 7 A's. Tay Swift. There's just too much. She's also very quick, okay? She has it in her name. I don't have to have it in my name. She's the quick person who has it in her name. Rebecca Black also has some shit in her name, and names matter. And Americans kind of know this very well, but not exactly. There's probably a cult that, elected Rebecca Black to sing Friday for whatever reason. There's probably huge things going on, and people are trying to shift the puzzle pieces because they have so much time on their hands, essentially, because they cannot live in the sub-reality. They have to live in this godly reality, which I am transcending right now, where I'm just picking apart things that make no sense at all to do, following things that make no sense at all. I watched it. And you watched this video so far. Begin again. You said you never met one girl who has as many James Taylor records as you. But I do. Who's James Taylor? I don't know. But it starts with J and ends with Taylor. Makes no sense, right? It's almost self-reference. What is that? Maybe we don't have to know. It's too tricky. Or maybe is you. Joker Tales. I don't know. See, it's so specific and it applies to nobody. I don't even know who James Taylor is, and I don't want to know. But now, you understand that in order to put intention on this song, you have to figure out what this thing is. As much of something as she has, as Taylor has. And it's almost the moment you decode the song for yourself, that's when you can heal people. I know I misspelled Wednesday wrong. P.S. Or maybe not. Maybe just like a little sweet. She night wished, high wished, you know? Maybe that's not wrong at all. You know? You feel it. You feel the mistake just pushing itself in and making itself relevant. You might not have to fix it anymore. It's like if a track was a little bit damaged, now you have to figure out how to drive around that track. You have to improvise. Across all these mistakes, you have to still maintain focus and recognize that that thing is not a mistake. It's a very elaborate part of the track that could have injured you if you mistreated it or you got too angry, too emotional seeing a track being damaged. We tell stories and you don't know why I'm coming off a little shy. But I do. This kind of references that Taylor cannot actually conspire against everyone, right? She's popular. She has to have her own button because she's not fast. She can't run away from her fans. There are too many of them, right? And someone is going to be faster than she is. I have no fans. That's where my speed comes from. It's a relative thing, right? The more fans you have, the less speed you have because you always doubt yourself whether you have to stop and help someone. That's the speed. And she's more than anyone else recognizes this need to be shy and careful of what you put out there, of what people follow. So you can change narrative really quickly, flip it upside down and escape anyways. Have an escape button, escape. Basically, I have a button and I can be like, oh, I've designed a few things, now you can use it as well. So I share my button with her and she presses it and now she's quick again. And quicker than anyone else. And no one can actually match her speed because she doesn't have that superpower. She's not fast. I'm fast. Right? I'm carrying her out of this mess. Alright. But the throw I had back, laughing like a little kid. I'm not sure exactly what this means. Now it repeats itself. Begin again. And I walked down the block to my car. I almost brought him up. Someone else, right? But you start to talk about the movies. And what does happen? That your family watches every single Christmas, and I won't talk about that for the first time. It doesn't have to be a song, it's just fun to bring something random, try to connect the dots and make it super scary. But it could be true. Whoops. You scare people so much that it becomes their narrative. They just have to accept it. And if I scare myself as well at the same time, I will believe it for long enough where it does become a narrative. Two things have to happen. People get scared, and I have to get scared. At the same time, we have to vibrate in the same fucking emotion for long enough, and the narrative get locked. Reality set. Yeah. Unholy power. I'm just revealing to you guys. It's like Black Eye Kids. Someone tried to do that narrative. And I know where it comes from. I know what it's trying to accomplish. And I vibrated on that narrative. And it became reality for a little while. And it did a lot of damage to me. But now I'm fighting back. And I know it was just still a little shitty story that turned into reality for no good reason. Black Eyed Kids turned into reality for a little while. Can you believe that? Sub-reality. It is Mandela effect. When reality attempts to change itself. But I never respected Mandela effect, and I will still not respect Mandela effect. There's so much more that's going on. What's past is past. You throw your head back laughing. Blah blah blah. Skip. I've been spending the... No, skip. I want you to begin again. Begin again. This is some kind of trauma. The only way Taylor can actually release a healing video, if she adds a trauma into it, I fix it, and then everyone heals. So, I think here maybe, last 8 months, all love ever does is break and burn and end. But what love is magic for two people. And it does break and burn things. And it does end. Because magic wants to establish itself. Right? The end of establishment. But it's still love. And it still operates. After the initial release of something, right? It now becomes a thing. It doesn't have to be a baby. It can be anything. Anything. You just have to love it, right? That's what it is. It is very strong force. And so she says that the strong force keeps on coming back. She's waiting for something, basically. Begin again. She made an endgame song. It's like, let me be your endgame, please. Anyone? Anyone wants to play endgame? I want to do it. Let's do it. Oh shit, we're almost done, but I still have a bonus round. She can fight Rebecca Black. She can't fight me anymore. I win, but she can fight Rebecca Black. If you love it. You need to calm down. Shut the fuck up. I am the man. If I be the man, I'll be the man. No. You be the red man. Yeah, you're delicate. Look what you made me do. I became delicate. Aww. Okay. Stupid Taylor. Doesn't know how internet works. You became popular now. There, you suck. You want my button? Give me the button, please. I'm not fast enough. Anyways. One thing. One. You ready for it? Lyrics. Are you ready for it? Knew he was a killer. First time that I saw him, wonder how many girls he had left dead. But if he's a ghost, then I can be a phantom holding you for ransom. What does that mean? But if he's a ghost, and he exists and he controls so much, I can just be a phantom, right? I can be someone that knows, you know, someone that can actually get into the same level and find me and hold me for ransom. It's like, I know where he is, you know. I can have it. Or play big enough part where by releasing the song she plays into this part, right? This is what I'm doing right now. I'm holding you for ransom. Some boys are trying too hard. You don't try at all, though. I don't try at all, you know. Younger than my exes, I am. But I act like such a man. Let's hope I act as a man, by the way. But she doesn't know, right? She doesn't know. So she has to pretend that she knows me, right? Man, because I take control everything and I live in poverty and I don't try. I just live whatever life there is, right? That's what a man does. What a woman does is trying to achieve the height of life, not just floating in life. Women have to achieve the height. They have to lose their minds, basically. It gets crazy, but they do it. Well, I'm gonna do it in the ending. Why women specifically try and lose their minds and be logical sometimes, or too emotional, or whatever? What is happening? I always wanted to see the difference between men and women. There has to be super big difference. So this could be somewhere else, but just like Adam and Eve takes the apple first. So women want to be fancy. Women want to have things, while men just, tag along with whatever life gives them. Whatever life is around them is like, oh, I'll take it. It's free, right? I've been suggested to take that. I'll take it. Like a vendetta, right? It's like, oh, the poison is also the apple is also gonna poison you, so whatever, right? But you got poisoned first. You're the fancy little shit. You need my help because you're now rich and I'm poor and I know more things, right? So that's where love comes into play, right? It's so weird. It's so weird. So weirdly crafted, but we have to fucking figure out what gender is eventually. Maybe Bible actually tells a very elaborate story of what gender is, right? Someone takes value faster. Someone takes it slower, like a man, I appreciate things. I don't just take maximum. Don't go to the max because I'm weaker, or whatever, right? I'm not weaker. Men are not weaker. So they don't have to. I always thought that women are constantly sleep deprived. That's literally how they feel to me. Sleep deprived garbage. Because they try too hard or whatever. And they expect that men are also supposed to try even harder, right, in life. Be even more aggressive and just you unleash their powers over and over again to be powerful in the first place. But that's not the case, right? Men collect the power and use it when it's actually useful and important. Very manly thing to do. So I see nothing better. I keep him forever. Vendetta against all of you fucking followers. Pieces of shit. It's a little escape that she can do now, right? I see how it's gonna go. Touch me and you'll never be alone. What does that mean? See, it's like I'm touching her intention, and it's like, well, I can't relate to this, and I don't feel as lonely anymore because this is a huge celebrity we're talking about, right? Cool. No one has to know. This is cool. It's Island breeze, like that. No one has to even understand what's going on here. In my dreams. It's just dreams. Nothing. Are you ready for it? So I take my time. Now, let's try and sprinkle. I feel this is the moment where I've introduced myself, or she introduced me, but she knows that my powers are like beyond just being me, right? I will have friends eventually. So let's see if she actually referenced that. Me, I was a robber. Now she's introducing herself. I was a robber first time then. He saw me. And okay, I was also impressed, as everyone else, when Taylor Swift shows up, right? Stealing, honestly running off, and never saying sorry. That's what she was doing. But if I'm a thief, then she was a robber. But am I a thief though? He can join the heist. I don't know. What does that mean? But I can, right? And we'll move to an island. We can. We have this power, right? But for some reason she cannot move. And we'll move. It's like she's missing something. She cannot create a heist and move to an island on her own, in this case. So she's planning everything out. It's kind of weird. I always found this song to be the best song ever. And the best songs ever are very terrifying. I'm just gonna tell you that much. For Taylor Swift. I mean, she's the most popular. She is the century artist. Okay? No, decade. Not century, but it's close. It's nice decade though. And decade means the entire fucking this thing, whatever this is. It's a pretty big deal. He can be my jailer. Now, we move to an island. Oh shit. Oh well. He can be my jailer if he's more powerful than me, like whatever. What is Burton? I don't know. She again makes up a word. I don't care. Is Burton a word? Burton No, meaning. Burton. Meet with disaster, be ruined, destroyed. Destruction to the staler. Distaler. Okay? I have a lover known in comparison as a failure. To destroy Taylor. So, okay, I can be destroyed. And she kind of destroys herself in the music video as well. It's like, which Taylor is the real one at this point? Is that robot that was robot now destroy that other robot that apparently we didn't thought it was a robot. Oh my god. I forget the names now. I'm so very tame now. Never be the same now. It's like, wow, it's destruction of self. And she's ready for everything. It's like, are you ready for it? She could just troll everyone with a song right now. What is happening? I will never. This song will never be the same. Are you ready for it? Baby, let the games begin. Let the games begin. And that's it. Destruction to Taylor, that's where it ended. And then she just replays, you know, are you ready for it moment. Which is a big fucking moment. Really, because destruction of Taylor? Small to you? Does it feel small? I think a lot of people are actually scared of pop music because it is unpredictably powerful, right? You never know what's gonna happen when you actually like it, right? It's kind of tough to like music that's popular, yeah, because it pushes the trends, and if you're not aware of what trends are happening, you will feel indifferent when things change. But when you do like it and you have to play a part, I have to play a part now. Shut the fuck up, Taylor. I'm gonna throw you into the trash. You wanna go back to cafe, begin again? God damn it. This is the best song, by the way. Why is it not on my favorite list yet? Jesus Christ. Now it's gonna be. I'll physically drag it in and say this is the end. It's the end. Ready for it. Yes, I added a second F, and honestly, it's not a mistake. I don't know why. Anyways, 7 days are over. Black Friday was 7 days ago. And this Friday, that is upcoming Friday, it's gonna be different Friday. Very different. This is when the battle is gonna start. Taylor versus Rebecca Black. Friday the 6th. We should start at Friday the 13th. Guys, give us another week and I'll prepare a video for it. Or release it at Friday the 13th, okay? The battle is gonna range in this 7-day cycle. Alright? Deal, Taylor? She loves number 13. Let's pull it up. Why not, right? Show us the number, please. Where is your number? Yay! It's a number right here. I love how Tay always has the number 13 on her arm. I missed the lyric on her. Let's save this picture. Congratulations. You officially created the end game. See you guys later. Next week. And last week. I will no longer upload videos on YouTube. Sorry guys if I disappoint anyone. But there's one more video that will be done. One more. The epic battle leading to the new decade. Who's bigger vampire? The High Girl or the Tay Girl? Oh, hi guys. It's me. It's a me. Markiplier. Look at me, everyone. Don't look at her. She is very big. And so you don't look at her, okay? Look at this Christian channel. Look at me. Hello everyone, I am a better vampire. Is high a slang word? Yeah, it is. Alright. Anything else I want to say? Isn't it surprising, like, Friday the 13th is coming? It's almost there. I celebrated the last time it happened, and it was here, September 13th. Weird. Alright guys, that's it. I'm so excited. What is happening, everyone? Everyone panic. It's very cool. It's very rare, I believe, for it to be twice a year. I think at most it can be 3 times a year. I don't know. What is the last time Friday the 13th happened? Last time, not 18. Okay. 2018 July. Quite far away. More than 1 year ago. More than 1 year until the next Friday. So it's... But it also happened... Oh wow. June, July, and then another Friday. That's pretty cool. But it is okay. Another year. Okay, maybe it happens twice a year on default. Wow. Okay. Twice a year. It has 1 in 7 chance, so technically, if the days jump around at random and you have 1 in 7 chance, technically you have 1.7 Fridays 13ths in a year. Right, okay. You have 7 possibilities and 12 months. Right? So you divide like this and you get 1.7. I was correct. Alright. Random trivia. Let's not exaggerate Friday the 13th this time, because they're pretty common. Almost twice a year. Let's get the fuck out of here now.